Hey guys, welcome back. This is Clayton53DM back here again with another What If. This is What If Deku was the only male with a quirk, part 3. Now for some explanation of what happened to last night. Yeah, I was way too tired. I had a test in the morning and I could not do anything about that. So I don't know how to make it up, but I guess I'll do like 2 or 3 what ifs today, and I'll do two that are new. So one will be about, I guess, hell, and another will be about either aircraft or something different that I thought of. But of course, leave your comments, and I will leave a post for the next what if I'm doing today. Well, that's after I mow my lawn, but nah, don't want to get into all that. So, back to where we last left our Zuko. Now, the reason they don't know who he is because it's not big news on him. The reason they're asking who he is because he's been gone for so long. Even though I think he said he left at 11. They just did not know about his quirk and they didn't know what he looked like. They kind of knew what he looked like, but he looks a lot older now. So yes, back to what we were saying. As Izuku is waking up, he hears a female voice come over the speakers. Hello there. State your name and tell us who you are. As Izuku blurts out, my name's Izuku Midoriya. Well, just Izuku. Says Izuku. Um, are you that boy from that wanted poster? Saying yes. So you must be the boy from the missing poster as well. Of course. Huh. We've been hearing about a large creature in the woods. Are you him? Yes. You're not old enough to go to jail, so how about this? We'll cut you a deal. If you join uh the UA high school, we will let you go off scot-free. And if that is that a deal? Deku thinks for a little bit. And I finally think no, I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, my vigilante still. Saying, as Izuku looks around, says, alright, I'll join under one condition. What's that one condition? I don't have to save. Excuse me? The villains. I can choose whether they live or die. Doesn't matter when, and doesn't matter how. As they have to agree with this because Deku could escape on his own. But in quick thinking, they say no. As Izuku looks down and says, alright then. Then I ain't joining your stupid school. So as the teachers and other people in there sigh and say fine. And you're stuck in here until we have something for you to do. As of course they've given Deku what he needed and treated him like a villain in these times. Now Deku knows he can transform and leave, but he knows that they will instantly attack if he's caught off guard, if they're caught off guard, or if he's caught off guard really. So Deku waits. He sits there and waits for them, waits for an opportunity where their backs are turned, so then he can escape. As the entrance exam happens without him, and Uraraka gets crushed. She's the first death. Next is the heroes versus villains. There is no Uraraka, so it's Bakugo and Ito win their match. After that, 3 days later, we're annoyed. Yeah, 3 days later, Ozawa tells the students, okay, class, and remember, these are all women, so I have to kind of think of that. As Izuku is, transformed into his Indominus Rex form, because you remember them saying that they are going to have him, well, not him, more the students see a real villain, or a real person, like a real man with a quirk. And they look at, as that day finally came, and Deku is in his room, in his giant, in his Indominus. As the students walk downstairs, not up, down, they reach the room. And it's a very big room. As in this room, even though there is no sunlight, there are still trees, there's still grass, and it's a big open forest. Now, there is a cave in there where Deku hangs out and stuff, but he likes being around in the forest. It's about a 1 mile forest. Now, that is very big, but you have to remember that he can live in smaller spaces because he's also human. Now that they have to walk to Deku's little house thing to meet him up there, they have to walk through the forest, which of course they do naturally. They start hearing sounds, cracks, movements of the wind, as most of them think, oh, there must be other animals in here because of his quirk. As of course there are. So, right now, Deku is near the entrance of his home, but he's invisible right now. He's camouflaged into the surroundings. As they get there, as they get there to his little cave, Deku waits and watches him. As Todoroki turns around, and everyone else looks at, basically female Todoroki. What's wrong, Todoroki? I feel like someone was watching us. Saying, this might be one of the animals looking at us. No, there actually might be someone looking at me. But I don't know where. And it's like they're all like kind of like laughing, like, oh, she knows like someone else is in here. I guess I was like, of course someone else is in here. Like, there's the boy that's in here. He should be waiting in here where we told him to wait. As they open up the little door to his little chamber, as in there, like inside the cave, of course, is all the stuff. It's pretty clean, as he would usually have chains on, but as soon as they walk in, they're like looking around, like, where is he? As Aizawa goes over to the table and sees some chains with a note. It says, if you have spotted me, then good for you. But if you haven't, good luck trying. As Aizawa finally knows why Todoroki said someone was watching them. It wasn't like an animal or anything. It was Izuku. They just couldn't see him. As they go out again, Izuku closes his eyes and stops looking at him. As they're all like now looking around trying to find him. As Mineta is still close to the cave, as she kind of just sits down right next to a tree, or what looks to be a tree, as she feels something else. It's not hard oak wood, but more of a scaly, softer muscle. She looks up and Deku lowers his head down, picking up the girl by her hair and throwing her. As she hits the wall, Izuku kind of moves around a bit and finally stops and goes around into his environment. And they felt the stomps moving around as they tried to get closer and they couldn't find him. As they also noticed that Mineta was thrown into a wall. With this, they know that he's around and he is transformed. As they all ask, like, what's his quirk? Maybe we can try to find him. Saying his quirk's a dinosaur quirk. So they're all like, but he should be easy to find. It's a hybrid. It's mixed with different species. So he can go invis and regulate his body heat. That's only being the 2 powers he has. Ooh. Now, they're still trying to look as Bakugo, one of Deku's bullies from back then, is looking around as well. But she isn't alone. She has Kirishima, like Miss Kirishima. I guess Miss Red Riot. As they're all like looking around and they finally decide to kind of like give up and stuff. Some tried to throw attacks and stuff and it didn't do anything, so. Because they were mostly on like one side while Deku was on the other. And they thought he would be like on the right side, but no, he was on the left. And they tried the left a bit, but they didn't try much. As now they're at the front of the big chamber that they got in. Now, I'm not talking about Deku's chamber. I'm talking about like the chamber that Deku is in, like where all the wildlife and his house is. The chamber I'm talking about was his house, his little human chamber, and then he has his dinosaur chamber where he likes to hang out. But he would never go into the dinosaur chamber without at least a cuff or someone watching him. But this time he broke out of the cuffs, so yeah. As some people are called in to, try to reprehend Deku and find him first. As they try to, get like people with like vision quirks to find him, hearing quirks. As he's right next to the front of the chamber where the rest of the students are. As he kind of dips down to a better form. So, as the students and people are walking out after this, they're all like looking around because they all knew that he could not escape without a sounding alarm or something, as they were stupid enough not to put a tracker in him. So with this, Deku goes ahead and goes down to his human form, still being camouflaged because he still has the spikes on him, but he also has his tail. So with that, he uses his tail and wraps it around his waist a bit. And now he kind of lines up with the rest of them. He's still invisible, no one can see him, but he's still doing good. As this is happening, the kids and the teachers leave as heroes start to come in to try and find Deku and put him back in his chains. As they are looking to find him, but Deku's already out. The chamber he already has left the first chamber, being like his actual big kind of jail cell. As they get out the door, Deku is just hiding still, but because how dark it's gotten, he can still see. with some of the extra DNA he still has. You can still see a night vision like he's a snake and stuff, but yeah. The second door, as they go upstairs, the second door happens, you know that, this and that. As they're finally out, and they have to, evacuate the building. As they all do, Deku is in the very back of the line, as he knows that freedom's right there. As Deku starts moving away, he makes a fatal mistake. The Vine girl in class 1B? Yeah, her vines are in the ground right now. She's kind of implanted into the earth. As that happens, as her vines are in the earth, Deku trips over one. As they all look over to help the person that tripped over the vine, and she tried to as well, but they didn't see anyone. And they're like, oh, that's Hagakure. Hagakure, are you right there? Saying, no, I'm right behind you. Wait, but if you're right there, then who's right there? As Deku, instantly knows, oh, he's screwed. So he unvises and kind of, shows who he is. Which is, him as a boy plus the scales of the Indominus. As he leaps away. But as soon as he's in the air, his quirk gets canceled and his scales retract, but not his tail. As he hits the ground again, it's the ground outside of the school walls as he starts running. As because he landed outside of the school walls, the contact has been broken between eyesight. So as that happens, the heroes start running upstairs, and Aizawa starts trying to give chase with some other students. As Deku is running towards more of into the city, as he turns a corner and goes invisible, as he hides behind a dumpster. As that happens, they try to look around the city and nothing happens. As they call into school saying target has been lost. As Nezu gives a sigh and says, alright, report back and we'll have the USJ tomorrow. As Deku hears this call and says, USJ. As the next day, Deku is in the USJ in the morning. He's in the forest section. And I think that's kind of where I want to end it. I know this is a little bit shorter, but I'm kind of tired, even though it's it's 9:43 in the morning, so I'm tired because I am. So yeah, I guess that's where I have to leave it off. Also, I'll be putting up a post with 3 different what if ideas that I think are pretty cool that I hope one will choose. One of them is a remake of a remake because someone wanted that, and I'm fine, I'll finally put it in and see if anyone votes it. But I will also be putting in 2 other ones that are really good as well. So I have watched a couple more animes, but I still haven't seen Dragon Ball, which I'm probably never gonna watch. And for you that like Dragon Ball, oh, why don't you like Dragon Ball? You're just one of those non-weeb. No. The only reason I think I don't like Dragon Ball is because I started out with the wrong anime, which was High School DxD. So that's why I'm into demons so much and other types of, monsters. Dragon Ball is just a lot of yelling, powering up, and fighting. That's kind of all it is. There's no romantic type drama in there and stuff like that. It's just a lot of fighting. And sure, that's cool and stuff. Just I like a little bit of romance in my type of tea. One Piece, I don't think I'll ever be touching because if I try to touch that, it's kind of off-putting to me. Like, it has everything I want, but it's just not my, it's not, mm. It's like the tea you want, but the taste is so long to get into. It's that, like, it kind of just ruins the flavor after a little while, and you get bored of it. Naruto is a different type of subject. That one's more fight, ninja, still has the romance. Chakra, cool superpowers. Heck, I don't even know why I haven't watched it yet. But I think what off-put me, I like Kurama, just not Naruto. Sure, I love those fun, goofy characters that are a bit dumb, but with Naruto, I would really like him to be, like, a bit more serious than what he is in, like, the actual thing. So yeah, those are, like, the only animes I haven't, like, watched, being Naruto, Dragon Ball, and One Piece. Even though they're, like, the most popular animes. The ones that I've seen are, like, High School DxD, Rising of the Shield Hero, Diamanchi, or Is It Okay to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? A lot more, Infinite Stratus, Plunder. Yeah. So I will be putting out a post, and also, if you guys want me today, I will probably be putting up a Twitch stream and playing a lot of Apex, Overwatch, or whatever you guys, like, want. But I'll probably be playing a lot of Apex because Apex is just fun for me. Because if I tried to play Overwatch, you would just see me playing a lot of Mercy. Also, my name has changed from Clayton53Dam on Xbox to Nightwolf. Yes, I changed a cringy name into a furry name. Only because I am a furry. Alright, I think that's all I want to say about my life, and bye.